Hello, welcome to another Shotgun Leadership Talk. I'm Chief K. You're riding shotgun, so listen up. Today's topic is going to be in the discipline vein about the standard. What do I mean by the standard? I mean, what is your company's standard? As an up-and-coming chief in the service, I learned that a chief's main job is to enforce the standard. Standards of performance, standards of behavior. In the civilian sector, there are all sorts of standards, namely the bulletin board with all of the required notices, sexual harassment, equal opportunity, etc. Everything that you walk right by, you don't stop and read. I get it. I'm not a fool. I've been there. But I bring it to your attention because there are those standards, then there are your company standards. I don't know too much if there are standards for performance, but I am going to say your training is going to be what the standard is for performance. They teach you how to do a task. You're expected to do the task that way. The company's mission statement, philosophy, or likewise, is how you're to behave, and that's what the company expects, to follow that mission. Once you realize this, discipline becomes very simple. Instead of ignoring those notices and things that you think are boring, you need to turn them into your allies, put them in your toolkit as tools. Because a lot of, sorry about that, something went flying in the truck, but I'm driving, so oh well. Once you learn them, once you take them and put them in your toolkit and know the standards and emulate, more importantly, emulate those standards, that lends to credibility, then you're beyond reproach when counseling your employees. And it doesn't, you don't need a 12-step guru style approach. You don't need verbal judo or any other, I don't want to say gimmicky, because there's some really good leadership out there. I recommend highly Maxwell. He writes a ton of books on leadership. I've read a few myself, and they give you actionable methods and tools that are reasonable. They're not, like I said, gimmicky. But back to my point in our talk here, the standard is what you strive for and what you enforce. And 9 times out of 10, the problem is going to be with the person not meeting the standard. Well, the person just has a bad attitude. There are guidelines for that standard. Well, you have to understand the standards, though. You can enforce a standard on a non-compliant or unwilling employee if you know them. So that's my tip for today. Know the standard, emulate the standard, and learn all of the standards and make them your ally in becoming a manager. In the disciplinary sector of that job will become less stressful, more meaningful, and just keeping it real. Like, just be true to that. You want this company that you're in to succeed. You have to believe the standards, and you have to enforce them. It's quite simple. So good luck out there. Share, like, subscribe if you agree. If you don't agree, comment. I'm open to all opinions. My ego is firmly in check, and I believe you never stop learning. But that's my tip for today. Be cool out there, live well, lead well. Chief K, out.